How is everyone today? It's Chris here from techtablets.com. I just got this in the post today. It's the Onda v116w. Now this is a dual boot tablet that is an 11.6 inch screen on it. Now this isn't a traditional unboxing because I've actually already opened it up. I had a bit of a battle with the box and it didn't work out too well in my video. So I will do like an unboxing for you so you can see what is actually in the box. But this is the one that I got off AliExpress, and I found that it had already actually been opened and the unit was put into English for me. So they probably saved me that hassle of trying to figure out and fiddle around with it and put it into English. So it wasn't too bad. But here are the specs of the unit. So you can see that it's got the CPU that we have in a lot of tablets, like the Onda v116w or the Teclas X98 Air 3G. So it has that Z3736F that has a maximum boost speed of 2.16 gigahertz, 2 gigabytes of RAM, and a 64 gigabyte eMMC, which is great because dual boots, I think, that size should be the minimum size you get, because if you've got any lower than that on 32, you really do run into space issues. And there is nothing really else on the box. So I'll just get into it here and show you the tablet itself. Okay, so it's quite a large unit, being 11.6. So you can have a look. But on the bottom we have the port there for the keyboard. I don't actually have the keyboard. I asked the seller, where's the keyboard? I want the keyboard. They could not give me any further information on that. I don't even think Onda has it released yet, or at least it's not shipping out yet. But there is going to be a keyboard for it, and hopefully it's a decent one. So you can see that it's obviously in black. Finally, it's good to have a few tablets in black and not them all in white. And on the left side here we have something that is really one of the big features of this tablet, I think, is a full-size USB port. So that's really good. We have the 3.5mm stereo jack, speaker on the left, and on the right side we have the right speaker. We have a little flap here which hides away a micro SD card slot and a micro SIM card slot. By the looks of it, I'm not 100% sure that it's a normal SIM size or a micro, but I'm pretty sure that's micro. I will confirm that in later videos when I'll do a speed test. So we have a DC jack, have an HDMI, mini HDMI, that's not a micro, and a mini USB port. We should be able to run OTG on that port as well. So you could do a transfer from one USB drive to the other if you wanted to, which might be easier, especially when you've only got a small amount of storage on board these. So there's front facing camera. There is a notification light here that comes on red when it's charging. We have a Windows captive button that will work in Android too. At least it should do. I will test that out. And the back material is this plastic. If you can see in the video, it's very fingerprint magnet material, really. It is everywhere. Look, it's very smudgy. It has a kind of dotted texture to it. It's a nice soft matte feel, but maybe not the best material to use because it's just going to show fingerprints like crazy, and it is already, and I've only just got my hands on it. Okay, so without ado, let's power it on. It should already be powered on, actually. Well, it was in hibernate. Okay, so I've saved a bit of time here. I've run some tests already. I'll get to stand here. The tablet itself is quite a bit heavier than what I'm used to with the 9.7 inch tablets. And the weight, I think, is on the box. Should be on the box here. The weight is not actually there, but I think it's about 800 grams. So it's just under a kilo. And there's a couple of the tests here that I ran. This is the internal drive. That's actually a SanDisk. So it's a SanDisk eMMC, and those speeds there are respectable. They're not the fastest I've seen, but they're also not the worst. So they're good. They're kind of a mid-range. They're reasonably good. The reads, 4K random reads, right, No, nothing special there, but not too bad. Now I did test the USB port and it maxes out around 40, so it's only USB 2. And I'll just plug in. This is a Extreme SanDisk 64GB here that I've got. So if I plug that in, just to show you how handy that is, that's just like a Surface, or actually the unit is more like a clone of the Dell Venue 11 Pro. To me, it seems to be. Oh, and I forgot to show you in the box here. Okay, we don't have anything really. You have a charger like that, so that's a US. It's got a US plug, and they gave me an adapter for the EU, but I'm actually in New Zealand, so that's not relevant to me. There's a USB cable they gave me. I'm not too sure whether it will charge from the actual USB port and not the DC jack it has on the side. The charge cable itself is just right here, so you have this little plug that's actually quite long. Now the plug itself, I mean, is long, but not the cable. The cable is, if you can see here, it's doubled up, but really it's not that long. Could be a bit longer, would be nice, but it's not, unfortunately. And having a closer look here of this screen, you see that the brightness of the screen is actually quite low here. If I turn that up, that is just about the middle setting, about 50%, increasing that to 100. The screen is really bright. I will test the screen brightness and report those results once I do a full written review on this. TechTablets.com. You'll find that probably in about a week's time. I'll have a review up for it. Now the view angles are really good. It's an IPS panel, so if you can see there, the view angles are good. We still have that gap, so you've got the glass and then the IPS panel below. That's normal. Laminated displays are normally only in premium devices like your Samsung Note Tab S and Surface, for example. So those are the speeds there of the drives. They're good. The touch sensitivity seems to be really quite good. There's no problems. Not having any issues there. And Windows, everything seems to be working quite well. No wireless issues so far. Just adjust that brightness there. And if I run HW info, just have a look at what temperatures I'm running at the moment. It does seem to get warm just around this area here on the back. So in this area tends to be where I think the chipset is, just behind that. I'm going to bring that a little bit closer. You can see my temperatures. So the maximum temperatures it's got up to around 68 degrees, 69. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. So that's, oh, actually got up to 74. That is quite warm. I haven't actually really been doing much. Oh, hang on, there's a maintenance thing running here. Maintenance in progress. That's going to be slowing things down. There's update maintenance. Stop maintenance. I don't know why that has actually started. So that's probably what's causing the temperature there. And causing it to probably be a little bit slow. Okay. So this is just the website here, techtablets.com. Not exactly the lightest website, but it seems to be running fine. CNN.com. Taking a little while to load. not sure why that is. Maybe something to do with my internet connection. It's not the fastest. Those images haven't loaded in yet. And just to compare the size, next to the Surface 3 Pro, you'll see here that this is the Surface right here. Whoa, excuse all the smudges on the screen. But you can see here, that screen needs a clean. You can see the size difference is actually probably about the width. Actually, the Onda v116 is wider just a little bit than my Surface 3 here. And I've seen the thickness, there we go, quite similar in thickness. Just have a look there, you can see around about the same thickness to the Surface 3 Pro. Of course, they're both very different screens. And against the Teclast X98 Air, you can see there the size that the Teclast will fit into that. So a lot smaller. So it is a big tablet. For some reason that hasn't actually loaded in properly, that page. Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't see this down here. The script, something's played up there with the script. That stopped the page to load properly. There we go. It's a bit better. So now, if it does have a keyboard that is similar to this one here, this is the Surface type cover. It will obviously have something like that, probably the similar size. You're looking at the tablet probably looking a bit like this, so it'll look almost like a Surface 2 / Dell Venue 11 Pro / Surface 3. Of course, that's not going to fit or work, but you get the idea. Maybe it'll look something like that. Hopefully Onda's going to make a quality keyboard for it. We'll just have to wait and see what Onda have for us, and hopefully I can get my hands on the keyboard. Now, I haven't had any chance to do any gaming on it. I will do some of that later, so please do subscribe and you'll get a message coming up. Well, if you subscribe, you'll see my videos that I'll do on this. And it's too early to establish any battery life, but according to Battery Bar Pro, we're looking at 6 hours, 20 minutes. The battery size there is just shy of, it's around 8,000 milliamp hours, so around the size of the Teclast X98 Air 3G. And depending on what brightness on the screen you run, of course, capture button works. I'll quickly show you the device manager before heading into Android. I have not actually gone into Android yet to check to see the Play Store works. So I will try that. So we'll just have a look at the device manager, just to confirm what's on board. Okay, so have a look under the disk drives. Sorry, it's a Hynix HCG8E. That is the internal eMMC drive, the 64 gigabyte one that they've used. And let's have a look under network. Probably be Realtek. Everything seems to be Realtek. Here we go. It's the same Realtek adapter that is very common in these tablets. So Realtek wireless and Bluetooth. The display, of course, is 1080p. And the refresh rate should be 60 Hertz, that's good. Okay, so let's swap over now into Android. Same setup as the dual boot V919. Switch over to Android now. Let's have a look how long this will take. I will not cut the video or trim it. Okay, this is taking an awfully long time, so it looks like I'm going to have to pause the video and then resume once it boots up. Otherwise, it's just too long to sit through this. I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's the Windows updates or something that's running. It's just taking an awful long time to shut down. Okay, so it's finally rebooting now into Android, I hope. As suspected, it was doing a Windows update, so that took some time. Pesky Windows update there. Okay, so the logo's come up in green, so looks like Android, I hope. See how long this takes. There we go. So this is the Android ROM. Looks to be a couple of bloatware applications there, but typical Onda, there is hardly any bloat. So it's quite a, I wouldn't say stock experience. The launcher, of course, is their own launcher. But there just seems to be this app here, which looks like some sort of store. And what else? Not much more. Game Center, of course. I think that's all in Chinese. Everything else here. See how it runs. I find the Onda Android ROMs to be actually quite good. Much better than the TechLast ones. So maybe there's a few updates there I can run. So if you do check back, subscribe to my videos. I'll have some more up and coming. Well, I will actually connect up the 3G and I'll get onto Play Store, test out a couple of games, see how that goes. Seems to be fast enough. Does the home button work? Yes, it does. That's good. So overall, it seems to be just fine. So that's Android 4.4.4, KitKat. And I'll need to connect on to the internet and everything else, which I'll set all of that up. So that's to switch there back into Windows. Click that, and there we go. So that's the Onda v116w dual boot. Thanks for watching this video. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. That really helps me out. And do subscribe for more videos. Bye for now.